Hi there. Welcome to Studio Movie Recap. Today we going to recap horror mystery film, Double Blind. The movie begins with Claire, a young girl in her mid-20s. She arrived at the Black Hood headquarters, an institution that invests new pills and tries them out in people before launching them. Claire was part of the lab rats for the experiment. After she arrived, they showed her room, which she will be using for the duration of her time there. As she was resting, her new roommate Allison enters and wakes her up. She was energetic and talkative person. She tries so hard to have conversation with Claire, but Claire is uninterested and tells her to stop talking as she needed to sleep. Few minutes later, all the test subjects are called to gather so they can be instructed with protocols they should follow during the period of the experiment. As they check their phones, they find out that they don't have any network or internet, meaning they can't message or call anyone while being there. Few moments later, the person who was going to be in charge of the experiment came and introduced herself as Dr. Burke. She tells them that the experiment will take duration of 5 days with small pill dose on the first day and end with high dose on the final day, to see how the body will react. She tells them that they will be monitored 24/7 and they can't go outside during their time there. They were given their first pill dosage and Claire seems unsure if she should take the pills. Since they are paid to be lab rats and she needed the money, she ended up taking the pills. Later, Claire meets with Amir, Paul, Vanessa, Ray and Allison. They are all having conversation to know each other better. Few hours later, Claire starts to feel sick, and she was vomiting regularly and unable to sleep. One time when she was coming from the bathroom, she met Amir, a young ambitious man who was a medical student. He applied for a job at that facility, but since they didn't answer his application yet, he volunteered to be part of the experimental subjects to showcase his skills and increase his chances of getting hired. At night, Claire is unable to sleep. She starts to move around and look for other people as the facility was empty. When she opened one of the rooms, she saw everyone gathered in the same room. They tell her that they also suffer the same problem as her. They are also unable to sleep. The following day they are all tested and are given more injections. After Dr. Burke gotten results of the test, she is astonished with the results she got. She calls the people who are in charge of the experiment and tells them that the pills cause brain inflammation on the test subjects. She starts to panic. As she asked for more information about the pills, they tell her the information is confidential as the experiment is blind testing. This shows that Dr. Burke was giving pills which she knew nothing about. Few hours later, she informs everyone that the parameters of the experiment changed. Their new goal now was to check how long they could stay awake without sleeping. She tells them no one is allowed to sleep. If anyone is feeling sleepy, they should contact her. Claire starts to get sick with each passing day. Allison still feels good and in high spirit. She tries to uplift Claire's spirit even though she tells her to leave her alone. She doesn't. She ends up loving Allison and sees her as her little sister. Few days later, the experiment dynamic changed and now the experimental subjects are given twice the dosage they agreed to. They started to feel uncomfortable and they don't want to drink the pills they are given. Dr. Burke shows up and tell them that if anyone wants to leave they can. But for the remaining individuals, they are going to earn bonus of $30,000 for finishing the test. After hearing this, everyone changed their minds about leaving and continued with the test. Later, they celebrate their new bonus and are dancing around. Claire is not convinced and is not too happy about the bonus they were offered and doesn't celebrate. Allison convinces her that there's nothing sketchy about getting that amount as bonus. She tells her that they are offered that amount of money because of the short notice change. She ends up convincing her, so she ended up celebrating with them. At midnight, everyone is super tired and sleepy. Dr. Burke inspects them and makes sure no one sleeps, knowing that if they do their body can shut down leading to their death. She calls the people who invested the medication once more, explaining the side effects of the pills. She is told to keep increasing the dosage to see what will happen. They all gather in same couch and are having conversation to keep each other awake. When Allison asked Claire what she was going to use the money for, she tells her that she will find herself somewhere to leave. Allison becomes excited and tells her that they should leave together and become roommates. She becomes disappointed and heartbroken when Claire tells her that she will never stay with her after they leave that institution. She becomes heartbroken and goes away, wanting to be alone. Amir pretends to be going to the bathroom, but instead he went to secretly listen to Dr. Burke's office what was really happening. After he sees the doctor leaving, he entered his office and peeps on his computer. He finds out what's going on with them, and understood everything as he was a medical student. He tries to download brain scan files and send everything to a flash drive as evidence. On the other side, Allison never spoke to Claire after their awkward encounter. Claire feels guilty and goes to her to apologize. As she was doing so, she finds Allison asleep. She tries to wake her up, but she wasn't moving. Blood started coming out of her nose and any open area of her body. She followed with a scissor and she moved around on the floor. Everyone tries to help her but couldn't. She ended up dying. To their surprise, Dr. Burke was present at that time. After the incident, lights turned red and all the exits were closing and locking everyone inside. Dr. Burke quickly ran to the nearby exit with everyone running after her. She couldn't escape, but instead she was caught by door spikes disturbing her liver, which caused her death. Everyone who was left inside the premises started panicking and trying ways to leave. Since they couldn't sleep at any point, they came up with an idea that will prevent them from sleeping. They all sniffed salt to keep them conscious. Since Amir was a medical student, he promised them that they can get cure once outside. They only had to survive 24 hours more for the door to open, so they will get help. They kept themselves busy. Others were jogging inside and others recording videos as evidence of what occurred. After some time, Claire loses all hope of staying alive till they get help. She recorded a video saying her final goodbye to her mother. Just the moment everyone lost hope, Claire spoke boldly and told everyone that the people who left in that situation will never save them. They should save themselves. She came with a strategy of breaking away. They all worked tirelessly for hours breaking the wall with pickaxe. After they finish breaking the wall, they find out that the wall has a steel wall behind it. Paul gets frustrated and starts asking for Amir's whereabouts. He suspects that Amir knows what was happening there. He had lots of questions like, how did Amir know they are never getting out of there? And how come he didn't help out to break the wall? He comes to the conclusion that since he applied for a job there, he was hired and now he is working for those people. Claire visits Amir and updates him of what occurred. Amir doesn't look at her out of guilt. He tells her that he is responsible for the lockdown they are facing. He was sending the evidence to USB, which triggered the doors to close. Claire forgives him and promises not to tell anyone. He tells her his plan to save them all. Claire becomes excited and left to tell everyone. On her way she meets Paul. He tells her that they shouldn't trust Amir and shows her medication that he found on Amir's jacket. It was the same pills he instructed everyone not to take, meaning he tricked people and wanted the pills to himself. As they were talking, lights turned off. They used their phone flashlights to look for a switch to turn lights on. Claire successfully turns the lights on. She finds Paul knocked unconscious on the floor. She takes salt and makes him sniff it to regain his consciousness. They waited for Amir in the lab room. Once he appeared, they wanted to know where he was. He told them that he was looking for a switch after lights turned off, but no one believed him. As he was distracted, Ray came and knocked him out. They then tied him up. They forced him to confess that he's working for Blackwood. As he was admitting, Ray took a knife and planned to butcher him alive to find out what he knows. Claire tried to stop them and ended up lying by telling them they can't kill Amir because he has a cure. They started making the medication which they believe will cure them with Amir's instructions. Vanessa confronts Ray and tells him that he knows that he is the one who turned off the lights so they can blame Amir. Since she also didn't believe Amir, she tells Ray to distract everyone while she will poison him with additives. As Ray and Vanessa executing their plan, Vanessa collapses and dies. Her death took everyone by surprise and they panicked more. They were more frightened of what occurred. Amir started laughing. Claire takes a knife and forces him to stop. She gets angry and left to check how much time they were left with before doors open. On her way she found wall which is penetrable. She runs back and call others to see. They broke the wall and got inside and found a surgical room. Claire and Paul found a secret list and believed that it was used to send the body for autopsy. Claire is happy that they finally found a way out. Ray finds out that Amir was the reason for lockdown. He takes a blade and plans to remove his eyes. As he was doing so, Amir broke out and stabbed him in the neck. He took the blade and stabbed him on his stomach many times until he died. Claire and Paul came and couldn't believe what they were seeing. They ran away with Amir chasing them with a knife wanting to skin them alive. Paul entered the secret room first and locked Claire outside, handing her to Amir so he could kill her. Claire ran to a different room. After Amir catched up with her, she fought him off and ran away. Paul entered the lift and recorded a video believing he is the last survivor. To his surprise, the lift was meant to burn dead bodies, not send them to autopsy as they believed. He ended up burning and died. Aftermath. The lockdown ended and the doors opened. Amir got up and left. On his way out, he found people who work for Blackwood waiting for him on the door. He couldn't believe and thought they will help him. Instead, they shot him dead on his forehead. They didn't want any witness, so the Blackwood planned to kill any survivor there. Claire saw this and went to hide. He found corpses covered in black bag. She used Amir's blood to cover her face. She then got inside one of the bags pretending like she's dead. The people who work for Blackwood checked and confirmed that everyone is dead. They packed the dead bodies on the back of the truck to dispose them. Claire got out of the body bag. They were shocked to see her alive and got distracted, which led them to cause a car crash. In the last scene, Claire is in a coma at hospital and the news is playing that Blackwood was found innocent of any charges. She wakes up with fear in her eyes. Did you enjoy the recap? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be updated next time we drop. Thanks for watching.